Hi guys. All right, I wanted to do a quick video that just would give you a little reminder and a little review on how to do fractions on a number line. So we're gonna start by just doing a couple where the number line starts at 0 and goes to 1, because those are a little bit more simple. So we'll do a few of those just as a reminder on how to do those. And then I will go into doing a few like this, where the number line doesn't start at 0, but it starts at like 1 or 2 or 3, and we'll kind of do a reminder on how to do those too, in case you kind of have like forgotten some of those things already. All right, so this one, it already has the example for you. So if you just look through that one, if it starts at 0 and it wants it in, remember, look at the denominator on the bottom of the fraction. That always tells you how many pieces to divide the line into. Not how many lines to draw, remember, how many pieces. So like this one, there's a 3 for your denominator, so that means it needed 1, 2, 3 sections. So they had to draw 2 lines to make it into thirds. And then they just started at 0. If you haven't, remember we talked about it, pretend like you're running a mile. If you haven't gone anywhere yet, you've gone 0 thirds of the mile, and then it just counts up. So let's look at B. For B, it says that we need to find where 3/6 is again. So I'm going to look at my denominator. It's a 6. So if there is a 6 for my denominator, that means my line, my whole, has to be in 6. So 6 pieces, which means I need to draw 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then just double check, make sure it's in 6 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And if you need to find 3/6, here's your box. So if you have gone nowhere, here's your box for if you've gone nowhere. I've gone 0/6 so far, I haven't gone anywhere. And then I start running. If this is 0/6, this would be 1/6, 2/6, 3/6 would be right here. And then they also want you to fill in what the 1 whole is. Think about it, if you've gone 1 whole, if you've gone all of the 6, you've gone 6/6, because there are 6 in 1 whole. And then let's do C, and then we'll go into the ones that are more than 1. So for 2/5, that means I need to divide, here's my denominator. It shows me that I need to divide my line into 5 pieces, into fifths. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces, fifths. And I need to find 2/5. Well, where my 0 is, remember, it's your mile. I haven't gone anywhere. I've gone 0 of the fifths. And then I'm running, run. Oh, I've gone 1/5. Run some more. Here would be 2/5 right here. 3/5, 4/5. And then if I got to the number 1, if I've gone all of the fifths, remember that means you're the same for your denominator and your numerator, your top and your bottom. Okay, so there's a couple just real quick reviews. Most of you are pretty good with starting with the line at 0. I'm gonna go over here to, let's go here. I'm gonna go over here to where sometimes the line does not start at 0. Sometimes it starts at 1 or 2 or 3 or 6 for this one. This one, I'm not going to show you how to divide each line up, but I am going to show you how to figure out what needs to go in your starting place. Because once you guys know your starting place, I know you all are pretty good about, oh, well, now I know where I started, and then you just count on. It's figuring out what your starting place is, if like there's 3 holes in the beginning, that some of you get a little bit confused about, and that's pretty normal. So I'm going to start up here at this one. So if I've started with the number 1 and they want it in thirds, that means that if I have 1 whole thing, I'm going to always draw a picture because it will help you. If I have 1 thing, so 1 square, and I divide it into thirds, how many thirds are equal to 1 whole thing? 1, 2, 3. So there will be 3 thirds if I had 1 whole thing colored in. If I had 2 colored in, So now I have 2 wholes, and they still have to be in thirds. So there's my 3 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then I would have 6 thirds over there on that side. All right, let's try this one. So for C, they want it in halves. If you start with 2 holes, if you start at the number 2, that means you're starting with 2 holes. So draw 2 of something. 1, 2. Each one has to be in halves. And then just count them. How many halves are in 2 things? 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 4 halves. What if you had 3 whole things? We'll add another one. Still has to be in halves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I have 6 halves. What if I got to 4? Make another one. Make it in half. How many halves would be here? 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 halves would be equal to 4. And we talked about the trick too. It's just like you are multiplying. If you have 4 halves, think if you have 2 of something, let me cover these. If you have 2 wholes and each is in 2 pieces because they're in halves, if you have 2 wholes and each is in 2 pieces, you're just multiplying. Imagine you had, these are groups. You have 2 wholes and they are each into 2, have 2 in the group. How many are there? Well, you have 2 times 2. That would give you 4. Oh, 4 halves. So you can kind of use multiplication in there to help you out too. Okay, let's try one more down here. So now this time they want me to make fourths. And this time they're starting with 3 of something. So if you need to, draw 3 of something. Like I'm gonna draw circles this time, just so I'm not always doing squares. Here's my 3 of something, and they need it in 4. So imagine if all 3 of these had fourths, had 4 pieces. That's just multiplying. If there was 4 here, and 4 here, and 4 here, there's 4 pieces here, plus 4 pieces here, plus 4 pieces here. You're just multiplying. Have you figured it out yet? Some of you might have been like, oh, I hope you did. I miss hearing you guys go, oh. If there's 4, now here's 8, 12. 4, 8, 12. That means if you have 3 whole things and they're in fourths, you have 12 fourths. Okay, it's missing the number 4 right here. So now just add another one. Now you have 4 wholes that are in fourths. How many pieces do you have? 4, 8, 12, 16. You have 16 fourths. Now you need to have 5 holes. Add another one. Make it in fourths. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You have 20 fourths. Okay, hopefully this helps, but the trick is, here, just think of it in steps. When you get down, if you got down to one that told you to do something like, it had 6, I mean, draw this many of something, split it into this many pieces. So over here, it would take you a little bit longer until at least you get the pattern down of how to multiply it out. So if your line starts at 2 and goes to 4 and say, oh, I'm missing a 3, and they want it in thirds. Draw 2 of something, split them into thirds. Draw 2, split it into thirds. And then count them, 3, 6. Oh, there's 6. And then you're gonna start to notice there's a pattern. 6 divided by 3 is 2. They divide. 16 divided by 4 is 4. 20 divided by 4 is 5. You'll start to notice those patterns as you go. So hopefully this will help you, because you do have some fractions on a number line things coming up for today and then also for tomorrow, Tuesday, before we go into our new thing for fractions on Wednesday. So keep it up. Please, please, please send me messages on Hangouts if you have a question. Please text me questions. If I don't get back to you right away, I promise that I still will get back to you. Sometimes I'm in the middle of helping Troy or Drew with their work or something, or getting lunch ready and I might miss it. If I miss it, I promise I will get back to you. Move on to something else. If I don't respond to you right away, move on to something else. And then whenever I answer your question, just go back to it. The other thing you can do is text me on Dojo or just text me on my phone because I gave you my cell phone number, and I'm probably more likely to see that faster than I would if you texted it on Google Hangouts, since I have to have my computer open to see Hangouts. So there's just a little tip for you too. So, okay, I'm gonna stick my face under here. Ready? Oh, here I am. Hey, bye.